recapping our over 900-mile road trip that we just did with our brand new Land Cruiser from the Florida Panhandle all the way down to the Tampa Bay area. So recently, my family and I, my 2 dogs and my wife, we took our Land Cruiser down to Parrish, Florida, which is kind of near Tampa Bay, to look at some property down there because we may be moving down there. My wife, she actually drove the first leg of this journey. So she drove from Destin all the way down. I drove all the way back to see if there's any difference in MPG, whether it's driver or the vehicle. Spoiler alert, it may be driver. My wife drove the first leg. Keep in mind there was regular gas in the Land Cruiser. She was going 70 to 77, touching 85 sometimes too, but she mainly had cruise control set at about 78-ish miles an hour. So 19.7 is the MPG that my wife averaged that whole time. So she was driving pretty fast, faster than I typically would, but whatever, I let her do her thing. And we did not crack 20 miles per gallon. Now our dogs, they sat in the back. They had plenty of room, not as much room as they would in my Tundra. However, we put a sheet down for them, tried to keep as much dog hair and everything off the leather seats as possible. And don't worry guys, my buddy Chris already detailed up the Land Cruiser and there's not a speck of dog hair in the Land Cruiser. As for the cargo area, well, I use the 2400 watt inverter on this Land Cruiser. I have an Ice Cove fridge. It's a dual-sided fridge, but we just had both sides at about 27 degrees. Had all of our stuff in there. Coolers are nice. They're definitely a lot cheaper. However, a fridge is cool when you're able to use it just because none of your stuff gets watered down with ice. So this thing's really cool. I have a discount code, guys, in the description if you guys want upwards of 12% off on IceCo. But I plugged this thing in and the 2400 watt inverter did not skip a beat. It didn't overheat, didn't turn off. Everything was great for that. And then as for the whole cargo area, we had a couple duffel bags. We had the dog food stuff back there. It filled up kind of fast, but not that bad. I was honestly very surprised with the amount of space that we had in the back of this Land Cruiser. It having a taller roof line really helps too. It worked out actually pretty good. Now the whole drive itself there was good. This Land Cruiser is very comfortable. There is some wind noise, but it's not that bad for being just how boxy this SUV is. But we do have an issue. For some reason, somewhere up here on the front A-pillar, when you have a gust of wind and you're definitely driving past 70 miles an hour, there's something loose. I don't know what the heck it is right now. Trying to use some detective work to figure it out. It's not the windshield wiper because I cycled the windshield wipers, but we're getting this annoying just sound. I'm not sure if it's something with the A-pillar, if the windshield is not glued down all the way. I don't know. It's the first time I've really heard it on the Land Cruiser consistently, and it did it quite a bit, unfortunately. So we have run into our first issue with the Land Cruiser. Now, before I drove the Land Cruiser back home, we did look at some property down there. The one that I posted on my community tab, about 20 acres. Guys, this house on this land was beautiful, but it was a little bit too far from the city, which sounds great, right? But for what we're moving down to the Tampa area for, it was just a little too far out in the boonies, especially for the price too. If I was to offer money on this, it would be a little bit insulting because it would probably be like 600 grand less than what they're asking for. So we didn't even make an offer on it. It's goals for the future, but it was severely overpriced and just away from just kind of where we want to be, and yeah, it was really overpriced. But we did get an idea of where we want to live. We're just waiting for the right property now to pop up. And I did get to drive a GX down there, had that as a press vehicle, and there is video coming, guys, in the future comparing the Land Cruiser to a GX Luxury Plus, which I can't wait to share with you guys. Now, I filled the Land Cruiser back up with premium gas. So we ran regular gas for 4 tanks. And I put 2 tanks now worth of premium back into the Land Cruiser. So I drove back, filled it up with premium gas. I stayed around the speed limit, 70 to 75. Sometimes the Land Cruiser did touch upwards of 85, but it's like if you're really rolling down a hill and then coming back up. Guys, I averaged 23 miles a gallon. So I don't know if we had some tailwind, if my wife was facing some headwind, or if she was just really hauling butt. I have no idea. But I was able to average 23 miles per gallon, and she was around like, yeah, 19.3-ish, I believe, is where she was at. The footage here will show you guys. On our way back too, we had to stop at a Walmart to get a little tire carrier thing, because I picked up 4 platinum tires for the Tundra. So I already put them actually on the Tundra by the time you guys are seeing this video now, and I will be driving the Tundra up to North Carolina to trade it in for the new one. But to recap, the Land Cruiser did great. I mean, it's 2024, it did what it's supposed to do, got us there, it was comfortable, it was nice. The cool box worked good for a milkshake that my wife got at Steak and Shake, put it in there when she was done with it, right? Stayed nice and cool, didn't spoil. Got good gas mileage, plenty of power with this little 4-cylinder, you know, driving. I know it's a 4-cylinder, people want the V8, but with the low end torque that this thing has at 465, comes on super low RPM range. It's just really good. It has great passing power, doesn't sound the best, whatever, but the powertrain itself was very good. Again, an issue with this A-pillar. No idea what's going on, kind of annoying. Aside from that, no other issues inside the Land Cruiser. Everything worked great, CarPlay worked great, everything worked great with the vehicle. Just one random wind noise coming in right there. As for premium gas, maybe that was the reason why we were actually getting better gas mileage. Towards the tail end of the second tank of gas, felt like the vehicle was a bit more punchy. Now I have verified that this Land Cruiser is tuned actually for premium gas. So there is a different ECU that is inside this Land Cruiser compared to my Tacoma. The reason for that, and I have an interview with Chief Engineer Sheldon Brown that will be coming out for you guys, is because this is a global platform. The Prado, the LC250 is everywhere else, right? So in order for this engine to be good in other countries where their octanes may be higher, or this or that or whatever, they had to do that for this vehicle, for this 2.4, for the ECU, for everything with the vehicle. Now Toyota, if you're like me and you're wanting to experiment and you put regular gas in the vehicle, Toyota is smart enough, it pulls timing, it doesn't damage the vehicle, you should be able to run, you know, regular gas. If you're in a pinch, you need to put it in every once in a while, whatever. The vehicle will drive with it, no problem. So there's no issues really putting regular gas in. Every once in a while maybe, not really gonna talk about potentially long-term how it would be for the Land Cruiser, but I am running premium now back in the Land Cruiser. That $4.50 a gallon killed me to put in this thing. Tampa, the prices down there for gas are about 50 cents more than up here in Destin. When we got back up here to the Destin area, it was like $3.90 to $3, or it was like $2.90 to $3 a gallon, whereas down there is about it was about $3.40 to $4.50. Yeah, kind of crazy down there. But guys, I appreciate you all watching. Land Cruiser, it's a good road trip vehicle for sure, nice and comfortable. I will catch you all in the next one. All right, see you later.